Namaste and good morning or good afternoon to wherever you are in the world. Today, this flow is going to be a forward bend advanced flow. So, follow along if you already have some experience doing yoga. Otherwise, you can follow some of the beginner videos that I have posted. So, let's begin. Come to the front of your mat, stand tall, chest forward, shoulders spread wide. Inhale as you raise your arms up. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale into halfway lift and then exhale to jump or step back and then go into chaturanga. Inhaling into upward facing dog. Exhaling into downward facing dog. It's your first downward facing dog of the day, so feel free to move your legs, keep a slight bend in your knees, push the ground with your hands and your feet, and make sure to keep that extension in your back. Your drishti or your eyesight or your gaze should be at your navel. And whenever you're done with your breath, jump forward or step forward. Inhale into halfway lift and then exhale into forward bend. And inhale as you slowly come up, meeting your hands up in the air and then towards your heart center and then stand in Tadasana. That was Surya Namaskar A. We are going to repeat it a few times. So inhale as you raise your arms up, exhale into forward bend, inhale into halfway lift and then exhale, jump or step backward. You can always do a handstand here if you can. Inhale into upward facing dog, exhale into downward facing dog. Take this moment to bring your focus on your breath. Long deep inhales with long deep exhales. If you have Ujjayi breath in your practice, please follow along with that. That is long deep inhales and exhales through your nose, making ocean sound. When you're ready, jump or step forward. Inhale into halfway lift. Exhale into forward bend. And inhale all the way up. And then hands at your heart center. And then on your side in Tadasana. Again, another sun salutation A. Inhaling up, forward bend, and then inhale into halfway lift, and then jump, step, or handstand into chaturanga, and then inhaling into upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog. Stay here for a few breaths. If your feet touches the ground, that's great. Otherwise, you can maintain a slight bend in your knees. It's really hard for me to keep my feet touched to the ground because of my tight hamstrings. But yeah, follow along as you can. When you feel ready, jump or step forward. Inhale into halfway lift. Exhale into forward bend. And inhale all the way up. Hands at your heart center. Take a breath here. And now we are going to move into Sun Salutation B. Inhale into chair pose. Exhale into forward bend. Inhale into halfway lift. Exhale into chaturanga or a yogic push-up. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale downward facing dog. From here we are going to bring our right foot in between our hands on the side and go into warrior one. Your knees should be on top of your feet, and then as you exhale, go into chaturanga, inhaling into upward facing dog, exhaling into downward facing dog. Now we are going to repeat it on the other side with left foot forward, inhaling into warrior one on the left side, and then exhale into chaturanga, inhale into upward facing dog, and exhale into downward facing dog. We are going to stay here for a few breaths. Make sure there's no tension in your shoulders. Your hands are widespread on the ground. It helps you push the ground. And then when you're ready, jump, step or handstand forward. Inhale into halfway lift. Exhale into forward bend. And then inhale into chair pose. And exhale into Tadasana. We're going to do a few more rounds of Sun Salutation B. Feel free to do it at your own pace, with your own breath. Chair pose, then forward bend, then halfway lift, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog, warrior one on the right side, then again do your chaturanga flow with upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Let's repeat it on the other side with left foot in front, going into warrior one. And then your chaturanga flow, inhaling upward facing dog, exhaling downward facing dog. We do a lot of these chaturangas and these sun salutations, especially in the advanced flows. You'll see that. That's because this is the best asana or the flow to make your body warm, and it's a full body warm up. And once after a few rounds of these, we have built enough heat in the body that helps us do the rest of the poses. Continue doing your sun salutation B and meet me in Tadasana for one last sun salutation B. Inhaling into chair pose, forward bend, halfway lift, handstand or jump or step back to do your chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Bringing your right foot forward, going into warrior one on the right side. Chaturanga, upward dog, downward dog. Repeat it on the left side. Inhaling into warrior one, exhaling as you go into chaturanga, upward facing dog, and then downward facing dog. When you're ready, jump, step or handstand forward, halfway lift, forward fold. Inhale as you come into chair pose, and finally in Tadasana. Take a few breaths here. Now we are going to begin our advanced flow here. So spread your feet 6 inches wide. Inhale as you extend your back, and exhale as you go into forward fold, bending from your lower back. And this time, let's grab the big toes with our arms, with our hands, and then bend forward. And over here now we are on every inhale, we are finding that little extension in our back, and on exhale, we are pushing for that bend, trying to go as deep as we can. Try to go an inch or even a centimeter deep into the bend with every exhale. And when you're ready, inhale into standing Tadasana. Bring your feet close. Now you can bring your left foot to the side, creating a wide stance here. Inhale as you find that extension in your back, and exhale forward. From here, you can rest your hands on the ground, and then again inhale as you find that extension, and on exhale, you go deeper. You can keep a slight bend in your knees. Your weight should be in your toes. If you can, try to touch your head to the ground. Inhale into halfway lift. Exhaling, bringing your hands to your waist, and inhale all the way up. Now we are going to do a yogic bind, holding our hands at the back, inhaling and then exhaling into forward bend. Stay here for a few breaths. Try to push your arms towards the ground. Your shoulders should really feel the stretch here. Continue to keep breathing. Never hold your breath. Inhale as you slowly come back up, your head and your eye gaze at last. From here, keeping that wide stance in our legs and bringing your hands up towards your side, let's go into triangle or the Trikonasana pose. Your right hand on the floor, your left hand spread at 180-degree angle from your left hand, from your right hand, and then look through your shoulder, the upper shoulder. Come back up, and now let's repeat it on the other side. Try to find that twist in your back when you're in Trikonasana pose, and look upward. Inhale as you slowly come up. Now we are going to do reverse triangle. You basically bring your left foot next to our right foot and keep the right hand up in the air. Again, find that twist in your spine. Slowly come back up and repeat it on the other side. This time your right hand towards the external side of your left foot and your left hand facing the up. Going deeper into that twist with every breath. And inhale as you slowly come back up. Now let's meet at the front of the mat in a Tadasana pose. From here, do a reverse namaskar behind your back. If that is not possible, you can just hold your hand behind. Now bring your left foot towards the back of the mat and align both your feet facing towards the back of your mat and twist your torso facing the side, facing the back in this case, and then inhale a deep breath and exhale as you slowly bend forward. You can keep a slight bend in your front knee, and over here try to touch your head to your knee. Maybe tucking the chin in might help. And once you have that touched in, try to push the knee with your head. Inhale as you slowly come back up and twist your position 180 degrees to face the front of the mat with both feet, twisting your torso along the way. Inhale a long deep breath and exhale slowly as you bend forward from your lower back, trying to touch your head to your knee and trying to push your knee through your head. Inhale as you slowly come back up and remove your hands from the back. You can do slight wrist rotations. From here, we are going to grab the big toe of our right foot with a hand and extend the right foot forward. Try to focus your gaze at one point. It should help with the balance. And try kicking that right knee out. The more you extend, the easier it would be to balance. And keep your left leg strong. Your knee should be strong over there. You don't want to lose your balance here. Keep that focus and slowly release the leg, the right foot. Let's do it on the left side, grabbing the big toe of the left foot and extending it forward. Looking at that focus point. Keeping that right foot strong and keep extending that left leg with every breath. Slowly release. From here, inhale with your arms up in the air. Exhale into forward bend. Then keeping your hands on the ground, extend your right leg back as high as you can. Contract your hips. Push it as far back as you can. Your right feet is pointed. Stay here for another breath. And slowly come back. And now let's repeat it on the other side. Extending that left foot back all the way up. Take a deep breath on that exhale. Try to go 1 inch higher with your left foot. Keeping that extension in your left foot. And slowly bring it back. Inhale into halfway lift, holding your shin or keeping your hands on the ground, whichever feels comfortable. Exhale into forward fold. Inhale as you come all the way up. And meet me in Tadasana. From here, we are going to sit back on our mat, keeping our legs stretched forward, sitting tall. Inhale as you stretch your back and your arms up, and then bend forward, grabbing the big toe. Your knees could be bent slightly. Inhale as you find that extension in your lower back, and exhale as you bend forward. Take a few rounds of breaths here. With each breath, with each exhale, try to go deeper into the pose. Maybe it's an inch, maybe it's a half an inch, maybe it's a centimeter. Inhale as you slowly release the bind and come back up in a seated position. Now we are going to go into Janusirsasana 2, where basically you fold your right foot and sit on your right foot here, and then inhale, raising your hands up and try to grab the left foot from both hands. This might feel awkward if you're doing it for the first time, but I promise once you start doing it more, it will come natural to you. We hold every pose for a few breaths to try to go a little deeper, to stretch our muscles a little more, to bring our attention and find that meditative state here. We are going to repeat it on the other side. So fold your left leg from the knee and then sit on the bottom of your left foot, and then grab your right foot and go for that forward bend. You can rest your head on the knee and even push the knee with your head to find that extension here. Keep breathing, keep the focus. slowly release the pose and come back into seated position with the leg extended. Now we are going to go into Marichasana series, where you keep that extension in your left foot and fold your right foot in and keep the right foot close to your inner thigh. Twist your right arm around the right knee and then grab the left arm from behind. You can grab your shirt or the mat, or even if you have a rope or something to grab onto. And now we are going to feel that twist on the body. Stay here for a few breaths, and when you are ready, release the pose and repeat it on the other side with your left foot in, bringing the left arm around the left foot and grabbing the right hand from behind. Find that twist here. And when you are ready, release the pose. Next, we are going to fold our left leg and go into half lotus with our left foot on top of the right thigh, and then we are going to bend our right foot in towards our thighs, and over here you can slightly push your left knee down to open your hip. And once you feel comfortable, you can wrap your right arm around your right knee and grab it from behind to your left hand. Once you have that bind, bend forward. You can rest your head on your knee. Stay here for a breath. And when you are ready, slowly get out of the pose, and then repeat it on the other side with your right foot going into half lotus over your left inner thigh, and then bending that left leg and bringing it close to your thighs. Now inhaling as you bring your left arm up in the air. Try to find that extension in that left arm so that you can go for a bigger wrap around your left foot. And once you have that wrapped around your left foot, try to grab your right hand from behind. If you can just grab the little finger, that's fine. But as long as you can grab something, even a t-shirt, or if you have a full bind, even better. I got a little visitor here. Yeah. And whenever you're ready, come back in a seated position with your legs extended. From here, we are going to spread our legs wide and then inhale and then exhale as you bend forward. This could be easy for a lot of people, and for some people, it's one of the hardest things to do. Um, but yeah, we are trying to spread our legs as wide as can and then put our arms beneath the legs and trying to get into the tortoise pose. As you can see, I have less flexibility in my hips, so that's as far as I can go. But yeah, feel free to go deep as much as you can. Stay here for a few breaths. You can hold on to the ground. I'm holding on to the grass in this case to go deeper into the pose. Trying to push a little deeper on every exhale. Inhale as you slowly release the pose. And then when you are ready, we are going to go into a lying position on our back. And then from here, we are going to lift our lower body and go into Halasana pose, where basically our feet go over our head and touch the ground above us. And you can keep a bind with your hands to push against the ground. You can also bend your knees and bring it closer to your ear, which is like an ear pressure pose. Option to keep your foot on the ground, not foot but big toes on the ground. And from here, slowly bring your legs back, one vertebrae at a time. We are almost done with our flow today. You can bring your knees slightly in and bring it to the right side and slightly pushing them down with your right hand and extending your left foot on the side, looking on the left side to release any tension in your back. Take a moment here for yourself. Whenever you're ready, let's move it on to the other side, bringing our bringing our legs to the left side and pushing it from the left hand and extending our right arm to the side and looking at the right side. Take a few breaths here. You can take a moment of gratitude here for showing yourself on the mat here. And whenever you are ready, we are going to go into our final resting position, which is the Savasana or the corpse pose. Hands and feet wide on the ground. And thanks for following along on this class. I hope you have a wonderful day ahead. Namaste.